So, a little over a year ago, I started up on the carnivore diet, and it's been life changing. I mean, it helped me lose over or almost 80 pounds. And it hasn't all been easy, and I haven't been completely strict the whole time. First 90 days, I was very strict, but then things started to wane a little bit. So, I got to be honest about how the results have been and what I've noticed and what I'm going to be doing moving forward. Like I said, I started strict. I was meat only, no dairy, obviously plenty of salt, and I didn't allow any artificial sweeteners or anything like that. There's eggs. I could have eggs and meat. That was essentially it. It wasn't, and that was for the first 90 days. I made a challenge to myself to do 90 days, but I could eat as much as I wanted, and I got really good results. I mean, the weight just fell off. I think the one thing that I probably allowed that some people would argue is carnivore or not carnivore is coffee. And I don't know. I don't for me, I enjoy caffeine and it helps me throughout the day. I didn't do any exercises or anything. I just stuck to diet and great I had great results from it. After I reached that 90-day mark, I started to drift a little bit. Now, I'm just talking about like my first year. So I started to drift a little bit. I started allowing some more things into the diet, like nuts. That was probably my biggest downfall is I allowed some nuts. I allowed some fruit. I, yeah, and I didn't really restrict myself. I was so used to when I was eating meat and eggs to just eat unlimitedly, right? Well, when I got into allowing the nuts, the fruits, the dairies, and I also allowed those things to be unlimited, it didn't work out so much, especially the nuts and the dairies. I noticed more cravings came back, and that led me into not being able to fight cravings for like fully going back to my old diet. I eventually caught myself as I found myself not fitting in my clothes, which was like one of my big fail safes. I got rid of all my overweight clothes and kept like mediums and stuff and maybe some larges, but like the tighter fitting larges. At my peak, I was about 270 pounds ish. It was like 270 to 275. And at my lowest during this period of time of losing weight, I was getting down to just at 200 pounds, like just like 198, something like that, 200 pounds. And that was on a good couple of days. And then it started creeping back up. As I stopped with the diet being so strict, anyways, it got to a point where I started getting back up into the 230s. And I was like, whoa, this has got to change. So I was able to shift my diet back into more of a heavy meat, like mostly meat kind of diet. But I still included a lot of the cheeses and the dairies and the nuts and such. I also started including more keto type things. So things like vegetables and the stuff you buy at the store that's like snack food, but like carnivore or not carnivore, but like keto friendly. So like the cookies, the protein cookies and the protein shakes and the protein chips and all that stuff. Like I've been doing that for a while. Actually, that was kind of like my more like I'm going to be healthy thing. But I'm not really a big fan of tracking my calories. So I noticed in this phase for the last, I don't know, I've been pretty strict. I've been cheated a couple times on like this plan that I had. Even though I wasn't counting calories, I allowed all the meat and dairy I wanted, and I allowed all of um the the health food, processed health food stuff in my life as well. And I didn't really gain any weight, but I didn't lose any weight. I stuck steady for at 220 pounds for like the last 3 months or so. And maintenance is not where I feel I should be. I don't feel like I should be at maintenance. I still feel overweight. I'm 220 pounds. If I look at the BMI chart, that says I'm obese. Um, and I don't want to be there. I want to be comfortable. And I've been talking about this for a year that I want to be comfortable with my shirt off. I want to dream would be that I look like a magazine cover model with like six-pack abs just poking out, but who knows if I'll ever look like one of those kind of guys. I actually got pretty fed up, and the other day I asked ChatGPT, I said, "This is my body weight, this is my height, this is what I'm doing for like working out." Because I started working out over the past month or so. How long would it take? I mean, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do? And what is it going to take for me to get to that point? So it did. It told me, it's like, David, you've been doing this whole eating all this other stuff and not keeping track of how much you're eating, and it's to your detriment. So I said, what do I do? How long would it take if I was strict? How long would it take for me to get to this six-pack point? And it said that I'm only like 4 to 6 months away if I was to really be strict and really, know, keep on it, right? Point of the story is my progress has stalled, but not because the carnivore diet doesn't work. It was because I'm more carnivore-ish right now. But I decided I need to make a change. I don't mind having food other than meat, eggs, and salt and water. I mean, it's not. Uh, I don't know. It's a lifestyle. It did work. It may be healthy, but I need something that I can maintain for a longer period of time. And maybe I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too generally, but I do want to be able to enjoy life a little bit. I know I've heard plenty of other YouTubers that talk about diet, that they do like an 80-20 split where 80% of the time they're very strict and 20% of the time they eat what they want. And they got bodies. I mean, I've even heard Dr. Sean Baker, who's a big carnivore advocate. He's said that, on a birthday, he'll eat some cake. For me, I've got to find a way that fits in my life, and it doesn't take me back and keep me out of my systems. So me being the disciplined, solid-minded person I am, I said to myself, "Hey, we didn't fail. We're not quitting. We're just going to adjust." And the adjustment is that we're not, even though I don't like tracking and putting things into my fitness pal and counting my calories all the time, I'm going to make some adjustments to see what have I been doing and what should I be adjusting to get myself on track. So I started using my fitness pal. And the plan now is I can still eat what I want. I can still eat what I need, but I need to see where my calories are at. How much am I consuming with all these other niceties? I have cut out for sure over the past year. I don't eat breads or rice or potatoes uh, at all. If I have, it's been on very rare occasions, maybe like a birthday party, having a piece of cake at like a very significant person's birthday party. If I was just going to somebody's house I didn't know for a birthday party, I wouldn't eat cake there, but like significant, it's got to be a very significant day. Like, for example, recently, my mother-in-law passed away a couple years back, and it was her birthday just a couple weeks ago. And for her birthday, the family all got together, and they asked me, because I'm kind of like the cook baker person of the family. They asked me to make pumpkin bread. Sorry, not pumpkin bread, banana bread from my mother-in-law's recipe. And so I did. And as just like a sentimental remembrance of kind of thing, I ate the banana nut bread with them. And I didn't eat a lot of it, but it definitely wasn't on diet. But it's very rare that I do that. The point of me telling you that story is just to explain that I've been pretty strict. I have rules and boundaries for myself on what I do and don't eat, but it's not enough to help me get to the body that I want. So we gotta fine tune it a little bit, which is why for at least the next couple weeks, I'm going to be tracking on my fitness pal. Once I get that honed in and I understand, oh, I've been eating too much of this or too much of that, then I'll know what I can and can't do without having to track. And I've heard from other places that even the most fit, healthy, six-pack-ish type people, they still occasionally will check themselves by tracking for like a week or two or a couple days just to see how they do. And so that's a good spot check for anybody, especially if they don't have such a strict diet like what we're talking about as a carnivore. I have actually been doing the more strict version for the past couple days, and I have to say it's working. I'm tracking, I'm counting the calories, I'm shortening the window of time that I eat. I don't feel as hungry through the day, like all the stuff. I'm trying to target making sure I get enough protein. Just all, I mean, it's not hard to get enough protein when you're eating carnivore, but sometimes I notice myself getting full and I am not actually reaching that protein goal. So I'll occasionally add in, or actually, it's only been a few days, but I have added in the protein shake. So it's not, I mean, it's carnivore-ish, but very meat heavy, but not as liberal as what I was being just a week ago. I'm noticing that I've already got some weight loss. I know in the first week it comes fairly fast, but this has been a good wake up call, and I'm glad that I can look at this and not say I'm failing, but more so say how can I adjust and get better and have better accountability for myself and just be more disciplined. So anyways, I'm interested to understand where you're at. Are you being super strict? Are you carnivore-ish, or are you like just interested in like doing something to get healthy? I want to hear it in the comments. Please share below. And in the description, I'm going to be sharing some resources for anybody that wants to work on discipline or work on the carnivore diet or something like that. They'll be in the description there. Check those out. And if you like this kind of content, if you like things about diet and exercise and productivity and mostly discipline and self-discipline, being real and being vulnerable, talking about the struggles, follow this channel, subscribe, because I'm going to be sharing my successes, my failures, my hiccups. And that's all I'm talking about here. And actually, if you think you might like this kind of content, you should check out this video right here, because YouTube says that if you like this video, you'll like this video right here. And if you don't like that one so much, or you don't think you will, check out this one. It's my most recent video that I published. And hopefully you check that out. I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Take care and see you in the next one.